and welcome to the feature discussion for 27 July 2021. My name is Harsh Singh and this feature discussion is on an important topic. The topic for today is India's cyber security capabilities, right? India's cyber security capabilities. In context to an important report by International Institute for Strategic Studies. This is a British-based think tank. Now, this think tank has rated all the countries, including India, in terms of their cyber warfare capabilities, the way they can defend themselves, the way they can attack in case of a cyber warfare. This important organization has rated India in the third category, in the three categories that it provides, right? Only one country, USA, stands in the first category, which has got very good defense and offense capabilities in terms of cyber security and cyber warfare. The countries which are placed in tier 2 are countries like Israel, Russia, China, right? So these are the countries which have many strengths and few weaknesses in terms of cyber capabilities. But India, being in third category with a lot of other countries, for example, Indonesia, has only a few strengths and a lot of significant weaknesses. So that is why in the third category. Now, in context of not only this, but in context of the overall cyber scenario in the world ecosystem and India, we must discuss what this report finds, especially in context to India, right? Because this will reflect the Indian cyber scenario. After that, we should understand what is the actual need for defending our cyberspace. Why do we have to do this? So this will increase the importance of the whole studies. So we'll discuss this in details, and after that the opportunities, right? How we have to actually capitalize on these cyber opportunities. So this is what we will cover in this article, right? So first of all, let us understand what this report spoke about in specific to India. After placing it in the third tier category list, the report says that India has made only modest progress, only reasonable progress in the field of cyber defense and cyber security. Specifically, India has focused itself into only region, the particular region of SAARC, especially Pakistan, in terms of its cyber defense technology, right? It has not expanded itself to the Asia Pacific and the whole world arena, right? So this is the first part of this report. The report also says that we have expanded. India as a country has expanded in cyberspace only in the last few years, last 2-3 years, after the digital mode of economy has come into place, after corona crisis has come into place. Only after that, India has expanded itself into the defense of cyberspace. So this is another aspect of this India reported news, right? So this is one. The article also says that India is relying on the outside powers, on partnerships with countries like UK, France, and USA, right? So the article says that India is not self-reliant in this particular sphere, but the article highlights one positive aspect as well. It does say that India has a very important good startup culture, right, which is going to promote cyber resilience, cyber security of the country, and India has got a large talent pool. Remember, this is the only talent pool which goes to countries like UK, USA, and all around the world to work in the field of cyber security, to work in the field of IT, research and development. So the same talent pool has been appreciated here, right? So this is what report says about India's cyber security space. Now, having understood this, should we not know why should we actually look into our cyber security? Why should we look at cyber offensive strategies? So let me bring to you what we do in cyberspace these days. Firstly, we have seen these drone attacks happening in Indian territory in Jammu lately, right? So bombs have been fixed to drones and attacks have been made. This is an internet operated bomb, right? Information technology operated bomb, where it has to be targeted, how the flight of this drone has to move, all can be tracked only online, right? So this is one important mechanism through which cyber warfare is being done against India. Look at the satellite infrastructure and architecture, right? They communicate with places on the earth, right? For example, if this region is India, right? If information conveyed to a place in India is wrong, right? If this device is hacked, if the satellite is hacked, and what it conveys, that data is wrong, imagine what can happen. If the global positioning system does not operate properly for India, we will locate ourselves to different places. So this is one important aspect to it. Look at finances. What happens if this whole financing system gets hijacked, right? Transaction worth crores and crores, which had to be made to a certain entity, will get diverted to some other entity, right? So there will be whole collapse of the finance economy, right? Look at the space of biotechnology and developments in fields of medicine. Look at the example of COVID. Imagine all the important data that we collected during COVID research, right? If that data was fudged with, if that data was changed, what would happen to the whole system of our conclusion about COVID virus, right? About the vaccination, right? So everything can be played around if the data is fudged, if the systems are hacked, right? All the digital economy will crash, right? Our energy systems, it has happened in USA, right? The energy systems were hacked, and therefore a lot of oil, petroleum which was flowing through oil channels, right? They got stopped and the whole economy took a back seat. So this all happens through hacking of the devices online. This is what is cyber security and cyber offense about. If government is opening avenues for online space, it has to also secure it, because this is the new mode of warfare, right? So governments have to prevent this kind of warfare and secure their spaces, and this is what presents the need, the important need for developing security in terms of cyber capabilities. And this is where India also has to rope in, right? Because India is a new entrant in this particular field. So cyber warfare, right? In terms of, look at the electricity grids, the health infrastructure, water supplies, communication, all of them are linked with cyber warfare, right? The new warfare may not be based on the bombs that we drop, right? It may be based on the electricity connections that we impart at homes. It could be based on water supplies at home. It will not be about poisoning the supplies, but actually eliminating or reducing the water supplies at homes in urban areas. So this is the kind of warfare we have to deal with in future, and therefore we have to look at the aspect of cyber security. Look at the vulnerabilities of digital infrastructure, right? For example, the whole economic system, as I explained, this also needs security, right? So this can be another point in your answer, right? When you write an answer on cyber security for India, right? Look at the vehicular movement, right? All the traffic management, it is done online, right? There is a centralized space in every city, and that place automates the movement of traffic, right? It automates how the traffic lights have to show different lights. So this can completely be hacked, and if it is hacked, it can actually cause the collision of many vehicles, right? If the traffic light turns green from both the directions, what will happen? So we have to secure all this, right? So this is what is another point in this new article: growing vulnerabilities in all the fields, right? Imagine the nuclear infrastructure. What happens if the Strategic Forces Command, SFC, which is an important command directly under the Prime Minister, what happens if the nuclear bombs are automated and they are hacked? What will happen in case the terrorists hack this whole system? India will be dropping a bomb on itself, right? So we have to secure all this kind of infrastructure. So cyber capability in terrorism is also very important. Why? Because terrorists also spread messages online, right? They attract recruits online. This is an important aspect of cyber security. India must secure itself, and not only itself but the nearby region as well, right? Now this cyber security, this cyber offense and security also is a non-traditional field of operation. Why? Because it does not operate with borders. It does not operate with borders in place. It is global in nature, right? It will transcend all the borders, and therefore the sovereignty of a country, jurisdiction, privacy, they are all limited, right? Imagine the American elections, right? It was alleged that Russia has also influenced the result of American elections. So if this is the nature of cyber offense and cyber security, one can imagine where India should place itself. In fact, a report suggests by CERT, the report suggests that there were 50,000 cyber attacks in India in the year 2016, but this increased to 7 lakhs. So this is as much as 14 times number of attacks in just 4 years, right? So this is the issue that we are currently facing. In the previous snapshots, we did discuss how India has to deal with ransomware. In the last year itself, India had to pay thrice the amount India used to pay as ransom when their whole system was getting hacked online, right? So this is the kind of threat that we are dealing with right now. So does it not present an opportunity for the country? It does. So let us look at some important capabilities in space as well. So there is something called as satellite jamming. What is satellite jamming? Now, if a satellite is sending important instruction to Earth in supposedly India, ISRO satellite setting instructions, satellite jamming can hold that instruction. It will ensure that this instruction does not get passed to the country. Position spoofing. What is this? Now, position spoofing is about fooling around if that position was accurate, right? So a wrong position will be given to a particular device about any other devices, right? A wrong position will be given. So this is position spoofing, right? Kinetic space operations. What is this? So actually refers to drone attacks, right? So kinetic space, kinetic means mobile, space operations. So drone attacks, etc. of these kind, these are space threats, right? They have to be dealt with, right? Because a lot of operations that we carry out is not only for onto space development, it is also for development of the country. Look at the weather model that are presented through space. Look at communication that is happening between us through space. Look at all the mobile communication that is happening, telemedicine, telehealth, lot of it, right? So the whole governance architecture, where are the meetings being held? The meetings are being held in virtual space, right? Between countries, between different states of the country. All this has to be dealt with in conference of the cyberspace, right? So what are the measures India has taken lately in this specific field? So let us see. India has presented an FDI policy which bans certain apps, Chinese apps, right? So that Chinese direct investment FDIs in Indian space, so that the hacking of Indian space, cyberspace, does not happen by Chinese hackers. This is one. Drone regulations, right? So these kinetic objects which are flying the space, India has presented regulations. Now this technology, any new technology, has two uses. It has the two sides of the same coin, right? Good side and the bad side. So we can use the good side, but we have to regulate the bad side as well. So drone applications have been regulated, right? For example, some hardware changes have to be made in the particular drone to ensure where it flies and where it does not fly, right? Then we have a CERT, Computer Emergency Response Team India, CERT, and it is under Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. This is an important body which must be remembered, because this is the agency which is the first to respond in case of any cyber attack or cyber crime, right? So CERTN, right? So what it has done is that it has signed MOUs with various governments on exchange of cyber information, right? In case anything happens about India in Australia, it will exchange information with these authorities, right? These countries, right? So phishing, hacking, all this will be reduced. So there's something called as ransomware, then there's something called as malware. So ransomware takes ransom, it hacks into a computer and takes ransom. Malware introduces some kind of malfunctioning in the device, and due to which it takes a lot of information in an illicit manner, right? In a hidden manner. What is hacking? Hacking is unauthorized access of any system, right? So this is what these terms are. Now, Defense Cyber Agency. India has also installed a new agency called as Defense Cyber Agency, which is going to assimilate the tri-services all together, and this agency will deal with the cyber security issues of Army, Navy and Air Force, right? It will create hacking networks, it will create surveillance, online surveillance and honey traps, such kind of traps which will trap any kind of offense against India, right? In the domain of these three services, Army, Navy, Air Force, right? So how can we develop these capabilities? We are talking of these challenges and something that government has done, but certain good ways we can develop this capability are: one, see, firstly, since India is not capable by itself in all ways, so we will have to collaborate with other nations. So multi-nation cyber coalition, we will have to adopt a coalition in which all other countries operate with India and give this important technological resource to India as well, right? So NATO supports its members, other members also, against cyber attacks. So this kind of coalition will also support India. So this is one important measure. The second is utilization of the technology talent, right? Now, such a talent pool, they all go to other countries, they study abroad and they settle there. Why not call them to India and have them develop some technologies during their summer vacation? So India is doing this in various fields of research and development. We need to buck up in this fair as well. So this is an important aspect of it. Utilization of our technology talents, right? So hacking as a service. What is hacking as a service? Just like we take service for a lot of other things. For example, Urban Clap. Now Urban Clap is about giving services to the urban residents, cleaning of kitchen, right, massage, or our beautification of home, etc. So these are services which Urban Clap gives. Similarly, hackers also give service, hacking as a service, as simple as that. So only when government knows what are the loopholes in their websites, in their data banks, in their servers, right, they will be able to know what the hackers do. So government will have to reverse engineer and actually point out at hackers, right, actually enable their services, have their services in place so that the loopholes are tracked. So this is an important component of it as well, right? This is how threats can be disabled, right? So delivery vehicles, what is a delivery vehicles? Now, drones are those delivery vehicles, autonomous kinetic delivery vehicles. So new systems and new laws have to be designated to ensure that these delivery vehicles are actually regulated in the country, their operation, their purchase, and how, what all they can deliver, what is the size of operation, how much battery can be put in these delivery vehicles, right? Because these drones are also of various sizes, various capacities. One can run for 15 minutes and the other one can run for 15 minutes and the other one can run for as long as 6 hours, right? So in how much space can it travel? Can it go 100 meters above the ground level, or can it go 1 kilometer above the ground level? So these all have to be regulated by the government, right? So this is an important component of it, right? Now, this image actually represents the whole infrastructure, the architecture of cyberspace, right? How India should look at. Now, just like we discussed, NSA, National Security Advisor, and National Security Council, now we need to have a dedicated National Cyber Security Agency as well. So this institution is going to help in that same regard. Similarly, we need to have a National Critical Infrastructure Protection Program. So what are the critical infrastructure India has? Let's look at it once. This organization called as National Critical Information Infrastructure Protection Center, this has defined, this was initiated in 2014, and it defined critical infrastructure as power and energy, banking, financial services, telecom, transport, government, strategic, public enterprises, right? So these are the information infrastructure that need protection, right? Now, this organization works under NTRO, National Technology Research Organization, Technical Research Organization, which is directly under National Security Advisor under the Prime Minister. So this is the significance of the critical infrastructure that India has, right? So we need to have an agency, an infrastructure for this organization as well, right? Along with that, we need to have emergency response system, right? So response and recovery of the critical infrastructure in case a contingency actually happens, right? And for that we need laws. So this is the whole architecture in which the security of Indian cyberspace can be initiated and maintained, and this is how the whole ecosystem will thrive, right? Now, what is required is cyber intelligence, so that India can cooperate with other countries and deal with the information online present throughout the world. India needs to have international partners. This is an important aspect of it, and this is how it is going to actually help the global balance of power, right? India need not only balance power in terms of economy, in terms of its defense capabilities. India also needs to come in cyberspace, and this is how the global balance of power will be maintained, right? So beautiful article we covered. We understood various aspects of cyberspace, cyber security, and how it has become increasingly relevant for the country, right? After having understood, all you got to do is take half a minute, right, and think about this interesting topic. After that, write this question, right? Write this question and answer. Discuss the need for India to develop its cyber capabilities. So what are the needs, right? We discussed 4 or 5 important aspects. Important keywords have to be put in here, right? Those keywords will help you fetch more marks. Now, every answer, suppose if this is a 10-marker question, right, you will be able to attempt and maybe get 3 marks, but this might not be the critical mass, this might not be the critical threshold which will help you cross that limit, right, to be able to get the rank. So these kind of keywords, these kind of important points will actually help this you score maybe 4.5 to 5 marks, right? So 1.5 marks in every answer will take you through, and this is what we are here for, right? So after having understood the need for India to develop, the second part is what steps can be taken in this direction. So we have also suggested the steps here. So this is a beautiful question and answer, right? You can attempt this, and this is how we will discuss each and every topic one by one. Any topic that is related to a theme which has all-round aspects, we will discuss it so that the topic gets simplified for you. So keep watching and keep learning. Thanks for watching.